Najua uko nami, najua uko nami, Baba najua uko nami, najua uko nami, Baba Well, what do we have here? Your neighborhood friendly Superman is back. And in the words of Ric Flair, ladies, what is the cause for all of this? Whoa! Yo, bro, bana, that line gets me every time. So, what to talk about today? Let's do the Otile Brown and Timmy Tdat Obinna TV interview, right? So nilicheck hiyo interviews. Tuanze tu na hii ya nani. Let's start with the short guy, Kasabuni guy. Nani? Fuck it. Why have I just forgotten Timmy Tdat, right? Imagine my surprise to find out that Timmy is 29 years old and Kendi Kirimi is, in her late 30s, heading to her 40s. I think she's the same age as Size 8 because the ladies were signed to Caliph Records at the same time. They did music at around the same time. However, Size 8 blew up than Kendi. And then she transitioned to gospel where she blew up even more. Kendi took like it's either she took a hiatus or like her music wasn't popping entirely. And then all of a sudden she's now back with this raunchy kind of music, the gengetone, the urban tone type of music, if you want to call it that. And, she's doing well with that type of genre, but it's not a surprise knowing that the man behind her is Timmy Tdat. We know Timmy Tdat for that type of content. However, I found the interview to have been really, really unprofessional. If at all it wasn't a publicity stunt they were trying to do. If you ask me, I think it was a publicity stunt. So I'm going to lean towards publicity stunt more so than a disrespectful interview, because what I took out from that interview is, number one, Timmy Tdat and Obinna have always been good friends. Number two, probably they wanted to be the talk of the internet, since Timmy Tdat has released is it 2 songs? Timmy Tdat has released 2 songs, I think even 3 if we are including the remix to Mashini Banana. Yes. So now that he's making this big comeback, they want to have him, talk of the internet. If you talk of the internet, then chances are your music is, the numbers are probably going to do well, right? Yeah, because it doesn't just make sense for me. Just look at it from this perspective. You guys are shooting a show at Miale. Miale is a professional place. It's it's a huge restaurant. It's a well-known restaurant. It blew up ile time ya Jalaso, when Jalaso was doing that show of his, which Obinna TV is doing a replica of, which is not a bad thing. He himself confessed to it. So I don't think Miale restaurant would allow someone to just smoke weed at their restaurant. And even with the way that security guy, that bouncer came, he alikuja akashika, it was so scripted, motherfucker. Yani even a 2-year-old toddler can see that shit. He came akashika umse mkono, then I'm sure, hii ni nini unakunywa? Haukunywangi bangi, unavuta bangi. So that means my guy was following a script. He wasn't being natural, and that's why he was fumbling on his words, right? The bouncer that is. Then all of a sudden, ameshika Timmy Tdat mashati. on camera. Yeah, I know bouncers can be, you know, a little bit extra, but there's no way a bouncer is holding you by the collar or by your shirt in the in front of the cameras. Then, you know, Timmy Tdat can't act for shit. There was no emotion, there was no surprise. Even Ata Obinna can't act for shit. Obinna was trying to be surprised with his mouth. Utashangaje na mdomo bana. Utashangaje na mdomo bana. Aushangangi na mdomo bana. Unashangaa na emotions. He was flabbergasted. If flabbergasted meaning then if flabbergasted means kushangaa na mdomo, then you know Ogo Obinna is the ideal example of flabbergasted. So Ogo Obinna was flabbergasted. You know, the acting was terrible, honestly. Then all of a sudden Timmy Tdat says, wewe jamaa kuja tuchapiane hapa. That's a bounce unaambia wacha tuchapiane na jamaa hapa. Then they go behind one of the cameras, and the other camera is following them. And then skiza the guy is still mic'd up, so he's telling him wacha nichape ya mwisho alafu nizime, you know. And then the bouncer just lets it go like that. Number one, nini, I'm even thinking that was not even real weed. Unaona, hiyo ilikuwa sigara wameroll up kama banki. Hiyo ilikuwa fegi wameroll up kama bana. And don't forget, Ogo Obinna is like the king of clout bana. You remember that skit he did some time back, where apparently a lady had caught her husband getting a couples massage at Teshi's, right? It was a good advertisement for Teshi at the time. It was a great idea for advertising Teshi. So, okay, who is this throwing off my shit? The fuck? Okay. Yeah, so it was a good advertisement skit, or rather good advertisement plan for Teshi. But even at the time, a 2-year-old toddler could have told you, or could have seen through the BS banner. I mean, okay, when it comes to ideas, let me give it up for Obinna. He's really, really good. In terms of writing them, I don't know, he's also good. Let me not say he's not good. Okay, Ile Ateshi, let me not hate on Ile Ateshi sana. But me personally, I saw through the BS. You could just tell that this is scripted. Hii ingine, you don't need to be a professional like myself to know that it was scripted. Any fool out there, any idiot right there would know that it was scripted. But it was good effort. But haija trend the way I expected it to trend, you know. They also need to push those hashtags the way Khalif Cairo pushes his hashtag Zuko on X. So yeah, so that's it. But it's good to see Timmy Tdat, Timmy Tdat making a comeback into the industry. The only problem I have is that the latest song is done, Nadaiwa. It's not good as the one he did with Masauti, Nasikia Poa, Nasikia Fiti. That song was dope. That song was really, really dope. And it's also a shame that it didn't, make the numbers that it was supposed to. Nasikia Fiti is really, really dope than Nadaiwa. But yeah, very, very good to see Timmy Tdat is making a comeback into the industry. Hopefully he keeps the trajectory going. Kendi Kirimi is also doing a good job. She did Mashini Banana. There's also another song that she did with Timmy Tdat before Mashini Banana. Can't recall which one, but her songs of late zimekuwa dope ass songs. It's a surprise to see that the lady in her late 30s is yet not married and without children, manze. Shit. Let me not even get into that. But I wish them all the best. I hope she gets pregnant, but hey, you can't be in your late 30s without a kid. Yeah, shit. especially for a woman. Especially for a man, I think the right age to get babies is 50. For women, should be 30.